Well, first interview for Roarrock, and thank you, Simon, for doing it, mate.
More than welcome. More than welcome.
A couple of bits, mate, to be honest with you. Beholder, first time I saw you was you were doing covers of bands many years ago at the British Steel Festival.
Okay.
Which was pretty cool. Can you just give us a rough idea what made you guys think, fuck this, let's just do our own stuff?
Basically, Beholder was born on the back of the fact I was in a band called the Handsome Beasts, ironically enough, which was an originals new Wobbin band, and it wasn't particularly busy. We weren't all that busy, so me and a bunch of guys set up Beholder, which was basically to make pin money and go and play the pubs and clubs, playing the tracks that we wanted to play, you know, Sabbath and Corrosions and Conformity, and basically the stuff that a lot of fucking covers bands didn't do. You know, they went down the easy route, and we decided to play the stuff that we really liked. Which was great, and it became a bit of a revolving door really of members coming in and out over the space of several years, and I think it was 2007, 2008 we decided with the lineup that we got, look, we're really good at what we're doing here, so you know, let's go for doing an album. And I basically found that the players that I wanted to play alongside, and yeah, 2007 we started thinking about it. We did a short demo with Andy Faulkner, and then in 2009 we went in and did the full album with him, which was The Awakening. And to be quite honest, I didn't realise it was quite going to take off the way it did. It was, you know, it's been accepted quite well, and then from there on, Gimli's left, put his back in the fold with regards to the recording of this next album. And we're flying high.
That's quite a good real turn round, really, with him coming back on board.
Well, I've always said that, you know, I'm never going to hold anyone to fucking playing in a band for, you know, any amount of time. You know, at the end of the day, I do drive the band as much as I can, but I also appreciate that, you know, they've got lives outside of it as well, because none of us are going to make millions out of this, and nobody ever will. But no, we've always kept it. Don't get me wrong, there's been a couple of guys that have come and been and gone that frankly I couldn't care for, and you know, they can start off, but you know, guys like Gimli and some at Paul Carnival and guys like that I've played alongside since they've left, and you know, long may it happen, you know.
Yeah. So the buzz on the first album when you actually started writing and stuff must have been pretty cool stuff to go from, you know.
Yeah, I think the thing is with the first album, by our own admission, we've all kind of admitted this, that we didn't really know what we wanted to do. We didn't know what the Beholder sound was, in the respect that there's tracks on there like The Awakening and Born Into Pain, which are quite, you know, they're long tracks with a lot of beef and a lot of heart and a lot heavy. But then you've got the lighter tracks like the KMAs and the Show No Mercies, which were probably more, you know, sort of power metalish, God forbid. But and then you've got Razorline and the KMA, which were more thrash. So you know, that we didn't really know our sound, but they were all good songs in their own right. That's the thing, and that's what I think people have picked up on. With regards to this album, we've took longer to do it, i.e. best part of a year now, and we have tailored a Beholder sound, which is really important, and it's more contemporary, it's more up to date. It's still got the traditional feel of traditional British heavy metal, and you know, we still fly the flag for that, but it's got more balls. It's fucking heavy as tits.
That's one of the things I was going to say as well. When you went out live as Beholder, you've played, obviously you've done Bloodstock because of your connections, and there's not saying
no, we've done Bloodstock because we're a fucking great band.
Exactly, and you've done Hard Rock Hell. That wasn't what I intended. Hard Rock Hell, Hammerfest and various other things, and every single time you do it, from the first time I saw you, well, we did the Hard Rock Hell thing in the pub, where normally you play very early. We named it Breakfast with Beholder, and it fucking packed the place solid.
Fact of the matter is that with our band is we've you know, as heavy as we get it, and we always do it with a smile on our face, because at the end of the day we know that there's only so much time you get to do this, and the truth of the matter is, if you're a band that moans about being in a fucking heavy metal band and playing live, you're a dick and you don't deserve to be doing it. We love every minute of it. You're in a bar for a start, or a club, it serves beer, that's great. You know, if you get paid for it, that's a bonus. Not necessarily going to happen all the time, but you know, in fact, often doesn't happen. But you know, it's about the fact of going out there and enjoying it. And if you transcend that to everyone that's watching it, that you're enjoying it, then 9 times out of 10, if you play the music well, they're going to enjoy it as well. So.
Which you do. I mean, you progress then, sort of from my point of view of what I've done in the past with you. You've gone to like playing in the pub to being given a, let's not say a shabby-ish point in Hard Rock Hell, I believe it was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And had virtually as many people as possible on site in the room at a time of day where regularly people would just be in bed.
Yeah, we got the early slot. That was simply on the case of we got a late booking.
Yeah.
I think one year we, I don't know if it was Hammerfest or Hard Rock, how we played on the Thursday night and played quite late. That was great. But probably the best one for us was playing at 12 o'clock. We were a bit and ahhing about playing at 12 o'clock. I'm not going to lie to you, but having said that, it worked out so fucking well because it was the perfect way to blast a hangover over, for all of us.
Yeah,
the only thing that we were a little concerned of was we promoted it as breakfast with Beholder, and what we did is we did a tray of cheese and biscuits. Right, check this out. We did a tray of cheese and biscuits, about 30 cheese and biscuits, little biscuits like this, and underneath each one of these pieces of cheese was some of that Dave's Insanity sauce. We had that, which is fucking crazy chili sauce. And we thought it would be hilarious to just see people's faces. It actually turned out a bit wobbly because you got all these people who have got banging hangovers, just transcend on this, and they all went in a second, and then literally 30 people were in bits in a proper state, and I did think somebody was going to have a fucking heart attack any minute, and we were going to get sued to the fucking
good
deal.
way of waking up though.
Yeah.
Good way of waking up. That Jägermeister and a few Jacks, and you were well awake.
It kind of worked for us, yeah, but I didn't eat any of the cheese and biscuits, so I was alright.
Bloodstock.
I've heard
Main
of it.
stage. You've heard that place, I guess.
Yes,
Yeah.
I've
You
heard
played obviously various stages of Bloodstock.
Yeah.
And the main stage of Bloodstock, how was that?
The main stage show for us was good on a couple of levels. One, because it was kind of a stamping point that yes, we're here, and I did think we warranted that opening slot. Some of the forum Twitters would tell you otherwise, but we did think we warranted it. But I would say that the show that we just did this last year, headlining the Sophie stage, was the one that really sort of worked for us, because obviously the connections with the band and the Sophie Lancaster thing, it kind of worked, and the fact that we got new material as well, and we were better known. We were another 2 years down the line, so people knew the material and were singing it back and sort of getting off on the bits and bobs, and that for me, personally was the better show. We were a stronger band by that point.
We came to see you a couple of weeks back, just before Christmas,
Queen's Hall, yeah.
Great little night out.
Yeah,
I mean, obviously you're yourself and you do whatever you do. You connect with everyone that's there, but there was a moment that you picked on a gentleman whose birthday it was, I believe.
Oh, Jim.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Nothing he didn't deserve, really.
Which was an interesting thing, to be beaten by plastic swords, I feel.
Yeah.
So that's...
He who promotes a Beholder show as his birthday show deserves a beating, because it's a Beholder show first and foremost. So I did the honourable thing and made sure that the pit opened up, put a 40-year-old bloke in the middle of the pit and made sure that they kicked 10 barrels of shit out of him, because that's what you do, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It was a great thing for us to watch, to be perfectly honest.
It was fucking even better from the stage. I tell you, it was hilarious.
So this new album's coming out, obviously, and then you've got the Black Flag tour and various bits and bobs.
Yeah.
So the year's going to unfold in I would presume, a pretty spectacular way if it all pans out for
Let's hope so. If we get the backing that we think this band deserves from media. Don't get me wrong, guys like yourselves and the Jim Beermans of this world and the Larry, Barry, Harry Patsons or whatever his name is. All these the independent people like yourselves. We absolutely fucking thank you from the bottom of our hearts, because you, for not only our band but for the breaking metal scene, are vital, because I do think that the breaking metal scene in the UK and possibly for Europe is missed out by the major publications. I've banged on about that for a while. I do think that it's a money orientated business.
Sure.
Unsigned bands by their own admission don't have the money to throw out there, so sometimes they get lost, and that's why independent websites and fanzines and whatever are vital. So more power to you guys for doing that, really. Fair play.
Well, pretty much. I mean, we won't take much more of your time because you're a busy man with everything you've got. Because we want to do a little one in a second with you about obviously Metal to the Masses and Bloodstock as well.
Cool.
So for this point, unless there's anything you want to really soullessly
hack. No, the fact of the matter is we've made noises that the album's going to be ready in the next couple of months. Don't think that's going to be the case, because we've sort of gone back on it, because it's the third release proper, the second full album, but the third release proper. We're going to be taking our time, and I don't think it's going to be out until the arse end of the festival season, really.
Okay.
Just to let people know.